Is it
All
rolling,
right,
Greg?
and welcome to another episode of Technology Tuesday. I'm Greg Russell here with Mr. Jerry Franklin Poe, and we got an exciting show for you guys lined up for you today. We have a special guest, the Mr. Rodney Stokes, who's about to join us. And if you are new, let us know that you are new and what city you're tuning in from. And if you are a normal subscriber, tuner, inner, then let us know that you are catching us either live and what city you're tuning in from. Or if you're catching us on a hashtag replay, and let us know what city you're tuning in from. Jerry, listen, man, I can't wait to dive into today's topic because today's topic is one that is very important for people to know whether it's something they want to use to market their business or not use, because whether they're on the side of doing it or receiving it, we're all kind of experiencing this if you're on social media, which most of us are. So with that, we're going to get ready to dive right into the show. Let's go.
All right, folks. You know what time it is. It's Technology Tuesday. That's right. We are here every single week, Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you practical knowledge, practical applications. You can have those practical solutions for your business. And this week, we have something special in store for you because the idea behind our concept, our show, the ideas is to have automation and implementation in your business so you can create that lifestyle business and not have to be hustling and grinding all the time. So we're always looking for key software technology tools that we can implement. And Greg's been in the lab, he's been doing some research, he's been behind the scenes, he's been digging deep into the grave, and he got some top secret information for you today. And I can't wait for him to unload it on everybody.
Oh man, thank you so much. I appreciate that, bro. Listen, today's topic is all about DM marketing and specifically doing this on Facebook. So I found one of the top experts in this field, Mr. Rodney Stokes, who we're going to bring up right now. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Rodney Stokes.
All right, all right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh man, thank you for being here. Listen, before we dive into DM marketing and DM marketing on Facebook specifically, tell us a little bit about how you became an entrepreneur and your journey.
Man, so I originally I came online in 2011. And so it was like on the tail end of my college basketball career, the NBA lockout happened. Everything was just like uncertain. I signed with an agent, then he disappeared, but I signed for 4 years. So I couldn't really like get any motion in the basketball world. And so I just had to kind of figure out what I can still do to make money because I had a 2-year-old son at the time. But then at the same time, if I get the phone call, I can drop everything and go overseas or whatever the case may be. So literally went to Google, typed in how to make money online. One of the first videos I came across was a brother looked like me, young guy. I think he made like 12 grand or something, and I think he was drop shipping. But that was enough for me to say, "Oh wow, this is real!" Like, cause he literally drove to the bank, deposited, showed proof, and everything. So I was kind of hooked from there. And my initial introduction was kind of network marketing too, because I didn't really know how to get my foot in the door. And so I'm in the DMV area. I'm in Maryland, and so at the time it was a company called Five Links, was big out here. And me and my sister, we went to an event in Upper Marlboro at I forgot what hotel was, but I saw nothing but Bentleys, BMWs outside, and I'm just my mind is blown. I'm like, and I'm hearing stuff like residual income concepts that I didn't even know about. And so I think I told this story to you, Greg, the other day, but I ran into a guy who his name was Tupac the Renicore. And for anybody who's been around, you might have heard of him. Odd name, but the dude was killing it, right? He had a Bentley and multiple Bentleys. And I caught him in the hallway, and it was just me and him one on one. And I said, "Hey, Tupac, man, quick question. I know you say friends and family, and pitch to, we had the 3 foot rule. Anybody that came within 3 feet, pitch them and all of that stuff. But you never considered the internet?" And his eyes lit up. He looked at me, and then other people heard me ask him that. So a little crowd started forming, and he kind of looked at me, looked around, and he said, "Stick to the plan, man. Friends and family." And I kind of looked at him and I'm like, well, I understand that. I'm trying that. But the internet has millions of people. I was like, you never thought about it? He said, nah, keep it simple, stick to the plan. So I went home, I looked this dude up. He had a capture page, autoresponder. He had a YouTube account where he was doing something called attraction marketing. And so
Wow.
that was like my introduction into the industry. It's like, wow, I can generate leads using the internet. And, I don't got to chase people. I can attract the right qualified leads to me. And so that kind of took me down my journey. And my first program I joined was a program called My Lead System Pro. And like that was just like mind blowing. It's like they had training on Instagram, training on LinkedIn, all these different platforms. And then ultimately, I kind of like settled with Facebook and just started learning, how to generate leads on Facebook, and it's been history since then.
Wow, man, that's
Wow.
you took me back down memory lane, man. And not only
Yes, sir.
that, but I caught that about the basketball career, man. As a former athlete myself, listen, that sports drive is serious. So, man, listen, congratulations on that. Even though it didn't work out the way you wanted to at the time, I think that
Right.
things work out at the right time for the right reasons. And so,
Absolutely.
so that's pretty cool. But yeah, man, the internet back in the day, and it's interesting how that dude answered the question, like stick to the plan and keep it simple. And
Yep.
when it comes to network marketing, because that's kind of where I got started too, and I learned a lot. And I specifically want to talk about that specific rule, Jerry. You let me know what you think. I mean, when you're new and they tell you like the 3 feet rule and everything, like, and you got a plan to follow, it's kind of good because you got something to, you know, work on.
Hmm.
But the reality is, everybody's not a prospect, right? And that family and friends and anyone who you talk to, like, to me, now that I'm a little bit more seasoned, I think that, if I was still doing network marketing, I wish someone would have given me this advice. It's like, not everyone's a prospect. And, you know, before you talk about your products or service, you should find out if they're a prospect. So if you want to do the 3 feet thing, you should have a way to ask, hey, would you be interested in XYZ? And if they say no, then you do not continue talking to them about their thing. And I think that little one thing, if somebody, was to give that to me back then, I think that I would have had more success, more drive, because when they tell you, anyone in 3 feet, and then you start prospecting people who are not really interested, you get that uncomfortable feeling. At least I did. That was my experience. Jerry, I know you have a little bit of experience in that area. What do you think?
So it's a mindset issue is what you're really getting at, because the rule that Rodney stated, the 3 foot rule, talk to everyone that's within 3 feet of you, is designed for a sorting technique, not a selling technique.
Mm,
And the challenge is that when people get started in their business, they want to see results instantly. And they think that everyone that comes in within 3 feet is someone that actually is going to be in their system, not realizing that no, everyone that's within 3 feet is a possibility, not an actual reality. And that's the thing that people understand. They don't get that part. Like, they don't realize that when you go to the store, and all, I think we're all in the age of, we actually went to a mall, right? When you
yes,
walk to
sir.
the mall, you didn't go in every store. So that's the thing that they don't get. They think that, okay, because people will come within 3 feet, oh, I'm going to be able to have them as a person who uses my service, or a person who could be my future business partner. But every store that opens up in the mall doesn't consider everybody that walks by is going to buy a product. And that's the business lesson that a lot of new folks don't take into account, because they are delusioned by the dream.
Right.
And when you get delusioned by the dream, you lose sight of what's really important. And what's really important is getting to the yes. And getting to the yes means you have to go through the no's. The
Exactly.
the challenge is that people are uncomfortable with no, and what no really is a help, not something that hurts you. No is basically like, all right, I can leave this conversation alone and go to someplace else. No is, I've been freed up to go experience something else. And they try to take the no and try to make the no into something that looks like a yes, and then it ends up being worse because now you're trying to force somebody to do something they didn't want to do. So when you look at sorting, sorting comes from the idea that selling is providing a service, and every service that you have isn't a service everybody needs.
Right.
Right? So when you talked about sports, right, the three of us here, we're in the same sport. I'm 5'6", 5'7" on my license.
Yeah, I'm
I
six
wasn't
eight.
on the basketball team. I'm on the
Yeah.
wrestling team, right? So like everybody has to figure out where the fit is. And so if you think about the 3 foot rule, and even with Rodney software, it's really about finding the people that's a fit. So sorting is really about finding the people that's a fit for you. And when we gotten into when people who have network marketing experience, the reason why they have scars is because they didn't live the principles to the truth that they were being really delivered by. They were trying to manipulate the principle.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it,
Well
man. I
put.
appreciate that. But I think you brought up a perfect point about sorting. And when it comes to marketing our businesses, like, social media and Facebook has, for most of us, played a major part. And then some things happened in the terms of being able to DM. So, Rodney, I want to ask you about this sorting process and finding people and using DMs, which is direct messaging,
Mhm.
as a way to find prospects, sort through people who may be interested in your business. I know you've been doing it a long time. You've built some software to help us do it. But for
Right.
those of you who may be looking at it, I want you to just talk a little bit about the actual process and why do you think not only is it important, but for those who are looking to grow and expand their business, why they should consider looking at this strategy versus anything and everything else.
Okay, look, I'll put it like this. So Jerry, he gave a great point, a great analogy, especially with the mall situation, right? That's crazy to even think about that. Like, but anyway, we're getting older. So there's demographic and then there's psychographic. And so I don't want to get like too technical, but so say for example, I want to pitch someone, that's around my age, has income that can afford what I'm offering or whatever, right? So I can see all types of those type of people at the mall. But say the offer that I'm trying to pitch is a burger and fries. And I just saw this guy walk out of a vegan restaurant. So there's a difference. He might have the money to afford what I have to offer. He's old enough to consent and say, yes, I like that or whatever, right? So that's the demographic. But then the psychographic, that deals with like behavior patterns, belief systems, lifestyle choices. The psychographic has to match up too. And so, to your point again, one of the things that they told me when I first got in was go for no. And I think Eric Worre, he kind of coined that, like, go for no. Like, all right, cool, get excited when you get told no, because after a while you'll start to see a pattern. Out of 10 pitches, you might have been told no 7 times and then you close 3 sales. So if I get told no today, all right, cool. Only 6 more no's until a sale, right? So they kind of help you change your perspective. But I tell people, man, forget all of that, because really sales comes down to allowing or helping someone say yes to themselves. If someone is having an actual problem that you can solve, is no trickery involved, is no, like, no type of copywriting tricks and hacks and twisting of the arm. If you have a problem, if you have a solution that solves somebody's problem, is as simple as that. And the selling part that comes in is just kind of trying to help them make the decision to say, yeah, you say you're suffering from this issue, right? I clearly have something that can help you. You get what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, even if we know something to help us, we still get caught up in our thoughts, right? And so, to your point, DM marketing specifically, especially what I'm about to show, I'm gonna share my screen in a second. You can get right to the heart of the psychographic and demographic that you're looking for, what, aka perfect prospect, and you can hit them up and basically play on the pain point that you know that they're going through. Prime example, from being in network marketing so long, I know the biggest issues is recruiting. And then if someone is a superstar, you got an outlier, someone's actually good at recruiting, their reps are going to then join and say, okay, well, I'm not like you. Or it's like, so how do I do that? Or what do I do? What system do you have? And so the biggest problems that I solve in the network marketing space is A, recruiting, I got a tool that's going to help you get all the leads you want, have all the qualified conversations every single day. But then also, we have a duplicatable process. So once you bring your people on, when you get your reps and you sign them up, you plug them right into the same system and software. So, it solves both of the major issues. So let me just share my screen.
Yeah, before you do, I got one more question, and then I want you to show
Mhm.
us. So just so everyone is on the same page, because we've been talking a little bit about network marketing, and I am I'm personally no longer doing network marketing, but I want to make sure what we're about to show can work for those who may not be in network marketing. So can you run down a list of the types of businesses that could use this particular approach to market their business?
Well, look, that's a great point too. So it works for any niche, it works for any industry. The two main questions that I tell people before you get started, before you press any button with the tool, is ask yourself, what problem do I solve and for who? If you know the answer to those questions, then the software is going to help you then, be off to the races, because there's literally millions or at least hundreds of thousands of different groups on Facebook for all types of niches. Like anything that you can imagine, there's communities where people are serious enough about it, about that topic, to join. And specifically private communities. If someone is serious enough to sit there and fill out the little questionnaire and submit it and then wait on approval, that person, a lot of times it's a lifestyle for people, or it's a passion or a hobby. Those are the best niches to kind of be in. But like I said, if somebody sits through that process and gets approved, those are the cream of the crop. These people are, logging into these communities every day, communicating, engaging, answering other people's questions. So that's what we teach people to go after, those groups and those crowds of people. And so again, if you know the problem that you solve and for who, then the next question is, all right, where are they hanging out? Where are these
Awesome.
Facebook communities? Yeah,
All right,
so it works for any niche.
I want to see it now, man. Show us what you got.
Cool. All right, let me see. Desktop. Let me know if you see my screen.
I do not. I did something. Hold on. I will get it up here. All right, we got it now.
All right. And so just keep me on track, man, because one time I did a run through and it took me an hour to go through every feature. There's so many features in here. So
Hey,
I'm just going to go.
so before you
Mhm.
start, yeah, we got about 12 minutes, man. Just just
Okay.
just a
Got you.
quick
Got
overview.
you. All right. So I'll break it down into three parts. So when someone first gets inside of the software, again, it can be overwhelming. You see a lot of features, but really it's just three main parts. So you have your hygiene of your account. So one of the first things we tell people to do is do a 365-day scan. Find out how many people on your friend list are actually good prospects, people who engage with your post and all of that type of stuff, right? So the inactive scan allows you to scan and see how many people engage within the past year with your content. And based on the feedback and results you get, you can remove people to make room to start to build your audience. That's the second component to the software. But just so you know, if you're not familiar, Facebook only allows us to have 5,000 slots on our friend list, right? And so initially, when I first created the software in 2019, I was sending, like 700 friend requests a day. And then I was having so many people saying, who is this Rodney guy that sent me a friend request? And I was getting all of these profile visits because people were coming to see who I am and why am I sending them a request. Those profile visits would turn into clicks on my links, on my profile, and comments and all of that stuff. Since then, reach has gone down drastically for everybody on Facebook. That's just what Facebook is doing these days. So we have a long-term strategy with a short-term strategy. So the long-term strategy is to fill your friend list with 5,000 of the most perfect prospects, period. So again, I'm just going to use network marketing for an example. If I'm trying to sell a software to help people get qualified leads for network marketing, I'm going to join groups about network marketing, or like, network marketing for beginner groups. I'm going to start the friend request process every day. And then once I have 5,000 friends, just imagine 5,000 people, that fills up like an auditorium or something. Just imagine every time you post is being seen by the perfect customers that you want to see it, right? So where people mess up at is they'll join groups and then start posting in the groups, get kicked out. Now you lost access to all of those potential customers. because you did it wrong. You want to siphon those people out of those groups into your world on your friend list. So every time you post, nobody can kick you out unless, Facebook shuts you down one day for whatever reason. But you get what I mean. So that's the
Yes,
long
sir.
term goal is we want to fill our friend list, and we want to have what I call LOL, land of leads. You want to just be every conversation you're having, it's targeted. Because that's another one of the big issues. People get burnt out, man. You're pitching, you're trying to sell, people leave you on red, they block you, reject you, tell you to get lost. It's no better feeling than to know every time you post, it's going to be seen by who I want it to be seen by, and every conversation I have is with a qualified prospect. So
I
that's what
think
you
this
want
is
to
one
have.
of the most important features is inactive friends because for those who are serious about, prospecting on Facebook, if like you said, if you only got so many spots, then you will need to work the number of spots you got. And if a certain percentage of those numbers is being filled up by people who either are no longer on Facebook or whatever, then it's just a waste. So I think that's one of the most important features of the software.
For sure. For sure. And we have the deactivated friends. See, this is hard to even find manually, a list of how many people you're connected to that are deactivated. Facebook still treats them like, they're here and they're taking up space. You cannot, if I have 4,999 slots or in three of them are deactivated, I have to remove those deactivated people to make room for more people, right? So I had one person named Mona. As soon as she logged in, I told her first thing you do, clean your list. She had over 600 deactivated friends. So those took up slots for people who are actually interested. So that's the hygiene part. We get your audience together. We clean out people that are not
Yep.
serious, and then now we have the audience building part. So we have a feature called Post Friender and Member Friender. Post Friender literally works exactly how it sounds. So I'm on Zoom, so I don't know how delayed this is going to be, but you're in a second, you're going to see right where you have the engager section on these posts is going to light up in blank. So you see that.
Yep.
So if I click on that, you can see we have these controls up here, start and stop. So if I click start, it'll automatically go down this post and start friend requesting these people. So let's just say this is a competitor post, or let's just say I sell something similar, right? And then I see, and this can even be an ad. In my training, I teach people how to hijack other people's ads. They're spending all of this money and dialing in and getting the perfect audience. And then you could just piggyback off of the people that engage on a similar product. And so if I'm friend requesting people on a competitor's post, when the person accepts my friend request and I have that initial conversation, I feel free because I know that's a qualified prospect.
Hmm.
So that's
But
post friender.
I think that's really good. Also, just throw this in there,
Mhm.
like if you want to, your feed is going to show you all the stuff you've naturally been interested in, but you can switch that up in a matter of minutes by typing in something you want to, for example, a competitor's product or a similar product. Look for
Mhm.
ads for that, and then click on one or two of those ads, and now you're going to start to see ads for that thing because you done reset your own algorithm for what you want to see. And so
Exactly.
this is you can be very strategic by using this software and this method.
Exactly. Good point. And so this is member friendly. This is one of my favorite features, and I'll show you why. So, prime example, Social Prospector has a DM marketing component. So this group right here, chat selling secrets. So if I click on open, it'll take me to the member page of this group. And just give it a second. See the controls pop up. I can click start. And once I click start, it'll go to this new to group section and it'll start friend requesting every single person. Well, not every person. I put in the amount of people right here, the number that I want to friend request. It can be 50, 40, 60, whatever your Facebook account can handle, because every account is different and treated differently by Facebook.
Yep.
But it'll friend request the newest people to a group. So just imagine who are the most fired up people about a particular topic, subject, or whatever. Just join the group. People who are brand new to it, right? So it could be a group that's 3,600 people. Now, if I pitched the person who joined on day one, the group was created, that might have been 8 years ago.
You're right.
It's not going to be the same effect versus somebody who just joined, is fired up on cloud nine, and I reach out. It sounds To them, it's like I'm a godsend. It's like, damn, I just joined a group about this, and you have this, and you reached out. So this is a great way to reach out to qualified leads again on a particular topic or subject, because you want to align, your groups with your offers that you're joining. So we allow you to send friend requests to the newest people. And then also you'll see that Facebook sometimes will start to reject your friend request because they're saying, well, we don't see, excuse me, we don't see the connection between you and this person. We don't see anything that you have in common with this person. So if you're running into that issue, you simply toggle this on and then you start it up again. And what's going to happen is it's going to then go down a list of uh, mutual, what is it, friends with
Mutual friends.
things
Yep.
in common. Yeah. So and these are people that Facebook deem to have things in common with you, so they're not going to go against their own algorithm. So that kind of mitigates that issue as well. And if I'm running through this too fast, let me know. I'm
No,
aware of
man,
the time.
you're doing okay, but we're coming. We're 12 minutes is almost up already. I told you it goes
Gotcha.
fast, man.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so the main thing you're doing, right? The long-term thing, filling up those 5,000 friends. So one thing that Facebook doesn't allow is for you to have more than 1,000 pending friend requests that are out there waiting to be approved or declined. So if you run into an issue with that, we have a tool that allows you. So let's just say I hit my 1,000 limit and I want to remove like 500 of the oldest friend request, because if I just sent you a friend request yesterday, I want to give you a chance to approve. I don't want to remove you. I want to remove the person I sent 2 months ago
Yeah.
first. So I just click start and it'll start to cancel out and make room for me to send 5,000 more, I mean 500 more. And so really I want to end probably with the mass messenger. We have tons and tons of other features that are powerful. We have a pipeline feature that allows you to manually go through and follow up and keep track of the stage that each person is in. And we have a group manager feature. If you're the admin of your own group, we allow you to, when a person fills out the questionnaire and the email, you could collect that, send it to a Google Doc, I mean, a Google Sheet. Or if you're a little more tech advanced, the webhook, you can send that to Go High Level or Zapier or whoever accepts webhooks, which is most platforms that have a
Yep.
CRM. So you can collect that and build a little database on that. But let me just quickly go to the mass messenger. So like, let's just say, for example, again, I'm gonna do network marketing. So Eric Worre is the number one trainer in network marketing. So if he has a post that he just made and it got like 400 engagements, right? I can take the URL to that post. I can give it to Social Prospector, turn it into a broadcast list. So I'll just show you an example real quick. So this is one I did on a lady named Mari Smith. Well, here's another one, 800 something. So I created a broadcast list from a post that she did. And now if I go to Mass Messenger and go to broadcast, I can select the list of 800 people. I can select send friend request before I send a message, and I can compose a message. But here's the cool part. Let's say I go to her post, because when you're sending the DM, the more personalized you can get, the more response you're going to get, because somebody's going to say, well, who's this random guy? But if I just say, hey, we both engaged on this post, and let's say, hey, I'll personalize it with first name. I see that you also engaged on Mari's latest post. Curious, what Facebook organic tool are you currently using these days, if any? Right? And then I can add a screenshot of the post that I'm referring to. So then the person looks and said, well, damn, I did engage on that post, right? They put my name. It doesn't seem, spammy or anything like that. So that piqued more curiosity. And I call it a icebreaker broadcast. That'll break the ice. You continue on in the conversation. And basically, if you're doing your targeting correctly based on our training, you know what pain point that they have, and then you can pitch your opportunity. And here's another thing as well. So if I record my voice, this is just my regular voice memo app on my Mac computer. But when I send this file, it's going to look like a regular voice message in Facebook Messenger. Okay, now demo 6, I just named that. Now let me drag and drop that. I can also attach your audio to it. So this is cool too, because when you send Like, say for example, this message is a little longer than I normally send. I try to keep them short and sweet, and then I just, try to continue on and progress the conversation. When you send a paragraph to somebody, if they don't know you and it's just random,
Yep. Yep.
I know what I do personally. I either leave you on red, maybe I'll get back, or I'm just going to ignore you. And so a quick hack around that is you can say something like, "Hey, first name, quick question," and then you could delete all the rest of this, and then the actual voice message can be a minute long or 2 minute long, asking more, you
In-depth
know,
question. Yeah.
exactly. And so that's a way you can kind of like get more engagement. You know what I'm saying? Instead of scaring them off on face value. But if I click on add message, I can also create many variations of it, and then it'll rotate evenly between the different variations of the message. That way we stay off of Facebook's radar. I can click on create campaign, and you can see I now have a broadcast campaign ready. And I just click on start, and it'll start sending that screenshot with my text and the voicemail
Man, I
message.
love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So
Appreciate
listen,
that.
guys, Rodney, man, I want to thank you for sharing all that. Listen, if you guys are interested, I got a special link up where you can get the Social Prospector, and so use that URL to grab it. And tell us a little bit, just quickly, because we are almost up on time. But some of the
Gotcha.
strategies you were just sharing, do you offer training? Is there tutorials inside of your software that is not just how to use the software, but more um, strategy based, like you were just showing us?
Yeah, I'm updating all of my training. I have a 30-day curriculum that's pretty much complete. I just got a couple videos I gotta add in there. But yeah, I go in depth on all of this stuff, man. I have a strategy called team build mastery. And don't let that wording, this works for any niche. I just come from a recruiting background. So I just show how to attract people through your content and follow up and all of that. So I have a whole curriculum around this stuff where I go in depth on it.
Well, man, listen, thank you so much. If you guys want Social Prospector, use the URL there. Rodney, thank you for sharing so much. Listen, I've
Absolutely.
dealt with several of these software programs over the years, and from deeper conversations with Rodney, I can tell you, if you either have a software or looking at a software that will allow you to prospect on Facebook, the features and tool set that this one has is by far the top of the line, and it's actually one of the cheapest that are out. We didn't get time to talk about 2024, but I'll mention it. In 2024, Facebook made major changes that we've talked about on this show because it affected this show. Um, but it affected a lot of the software that allowed you to use DMs as a prospecting tool, and some of those softwares have went away because of that. A few have survived, and yours, Rodney, is not only one of them, but it is one that is actually doing so well. And so I wanted to make sure everybody has a chance to get Social Prospector Pro. So if that's something you're interested in, again, one last time, use that URL on the screen and check out Social Prospector. Jerry, any last minute thoughts you have on the software or anything that you saw?
Yeah, but I'll keep it short because I think we could do another episode just on the feedback from what Rodney showed. But I wouldn't say it's the cheapest. It's the most cost effective,
Thank you,
is
sir.
what I would say. No problem. That's why I'm here. I'm just here as the cleanup. That's
I
all.
like that.
Love it. Yes, sir. All right. Well, listen, let's do that, man. I would love to bring you back, Rodney, and we can spend another session going through more specifics. And again, if you guys are enjoying this, let us know in the comments, let us know in the group, and make sure if you're not already a member, make sure you join our group at technologytuesday.com. With that, Rodney, thank you. Jerry, thank you. And make sure you guys tune in again next week for another episode of Technology Tuesday. Until then, have a great week.
Appreciate
Yeah. It's